Hi fellow dreamers, today I'm going to discuss how you can maintain a peace of mind while pursuing something incredibly meaningful for you, even though it may come with risks. I'm Dr. Sijin Yan, a philosophical counselor. If you are interested in learning how philosophy can help you to enhance life, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'm going to discuss this topic through an example. So I'm a big fan of the comedian Sijin Yan. In his recent performance and memoir, he discusses the struggle he faced while pursuing his passion. This includes a scenario where he's left a stable career in finance to pursue opportunities in comedy. And his father's reaction to his decision was like, "Pursuing your dream is for losers. Doing what you love is how you become homeless." His father's comment is something a philosopher would love to dive into. Why? Because it's powerful, widely assumed, and your response to it will determine whether or not you would like to experiment and take risks in your life. I'm going to provide you with 3 tips on how to respond more effectively to something like this. First, be aware of slippery slope. Slippery slope is a logical fallacy that is extremely common in everyday life and is a serious contributor to anxiety and worry. It's a cognitive distortion where you believe that a small mistake in your life can lead to catastrophic consequences. Jimmy's father's comment, aka "pursuing your dream is how you become homeless," is a classical example of slippery slope. People who say things like this do not necessarily mean harm. It's more of a habit of thinking. Sometimes you say something like this to yourself as well. So let's look closer at the statement. So the statement offers a prediction that paints a very bleak picture of a potential future. It takes one potentially negative consequence, which is Jamie not succeeding as being a stand-up comedian, and then link it to a very negative consequence, which is a personal bankruptcy and homelessness. It argues that the former inevitably leads to the latter. So slippery slope is like taking a roller coaster ride, where you start with an initial premise and then take a wild jump and then arrive at a place where you have to confront your greatest fear. If you fear poverty, your conclusion may be destitution. If you care about relationships, you might imagine dying alone. And if you are like Ron Weasley, you might be living with spiders. So how do you deal with it? Well, dealing with slippery slope requires you to recognize it for what it is, a logical fallacy. It's a logical fallacy because it distorts probabilities to exaggerate the consequences of a single choice. In Jimmy's case, of course, there is a possibility that he might not succeed at being a comedian. However, the real possibility of a complete financial ruin is actually quite low, and it requires a lot of other factors to come into play, such as money management skills and lifestyle choices. Even if he didn't succeed at being a superstar, he still acquired a lot of skills that are transferable to other careers, such as public speaking skills or effective communication that can get audience love, and networking abilities in the entertainment industry, all of which are quite valuable. So when you catch yourself thinking on slippery slope, remember that this is not a rational or accurate way to assess the situation. Just acknowledging that can help you to distance yourself from the anxiety-inducing thoughts. A second tip I would offer on how to stay calm and practice courage when you are following your dreams is to learn from Aristotle's concept of courage. So in Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle says that courage depends on the delicate balance of not overestimating or underestimating risks. He differentiates true courage from recklessness and cowardice. Recklessness is a trait characterized by wishful thinking. For instance, aspiring to become a comedian without putting in enough effort to pursue the goal would be an example of wishful thinking. Cowardice, on the other hand, is obsessed with potential downsides and encourages you to give up before even trying. So both recklessness and cowardice depends a lot on mental distortions of reality. True courage, according to Aristotle, lies in the ability to reasonably assess a situation, acknowledging the risks and dangers, while still have the gut to do it anyway. Third, gradually develop your own personal life philosophy. If you want to foster resilience and courage over the long term, I highly recommend you to craft your own personal value framework that works for you. By working for you, I really mean two things. First, your personal philosophy should be capable of addressing the most prominent thought patterns you want to alter in your life, such as perfectionism or feelings of inadequacy or constant need for validation. Your personal philosophy function like antidotes. They can counteract the irrational and even toxic thought patterns that hold you back. Secondly, your personal philosophy should be able to provide constant inspiration that are generally consistent with your basic beliefs. Throughout the history of philosophy, there have been many thinkers who have offered insights on what constitutes a good life. But they do so from a variety of intellectual and religious background, and they have very different primary concerns. So if you are a devout Christian, perhaps Nietzsche is less applicable to your situation than Kierkegaard or St. Augustine. On the other hand, if you are primarily struggling with internalized misogyny and gender stereotypes, you probably want to look at feminist philosophers such as Simone de Beauvoir or John Stuart Mill or Kate Manne rather than, say, Schopenhauer. A philosophical counselor usually has extensive trainings in the history of thought and could help you with your personal growth in that respect. Let me give you an example. So how would someone influenced by secular existential thinkers such as Martin Heidegger or Jean-Paul Sartre respond to Qin You's situation? So Heidegger would say that fear is an inauthentic attunement grounded by angst, an authentic mode of attunement. So when you are concerned about financial security, you are actually caring about your life. The roof over your head, food on the table, what other people would see you, and so forth. But I would say that caring for your life based solely on security is caring not enough. When you care more about your life, you start distancing yourself from the fear and asking more ultimate questions such as, who am I? Why am I here? Do I really want to live a life in supposed safety rather than doing what I truly love? If I fail to pursue the traditional path, would I be able to say to my father, hey dad, you made me do this, you are responsible for that? No, because at the end of the day, no one is responsible for your life other than yourself, right? So when you no longer flee from your fear, you start confronting your existence, your death, your freedom, your individuality face to face. And you gain an existential courage and calmness associated with it. You are then able to say things like, well, no matter what I choose, I stay true to myself. If I succeed, that will be even better. But either way, I am not denying the fact that I am free. So here are the 3 tips on how to stay calm and build courage when you're pursuing your dream. For more information, you can check out the reading list in the description box. If you like this video, please give a thumb up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.